Top 5 sidekicks.
I'm gonna Babe Ruth this. I'm gonna call my shot. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Really? I'm not overly confident. Although, the competitor in me now says fucking bring it on. But the problem with this is it's so broad. Like, you can do sports, you can do entertainment, you can do life, you can do whatever, that inevitably 10 between us, there's going to be a ton left on the table.
Yeah.
So I also didn't really do that much homework, so whatever. So, all right, Babe Ruth, let's go then.
Number one. Chicken kickers.
Chicken kickers?
Yeah. The buffalo chicken kicker from Domino's. Sidekick.
Oh.
Pizza. You always get yourself chicken kickers.
I like that.
And it's got kick in it. That's a great sidekick.
Literal sidekick. Okay.
Yep. That's number one. No one orders a Domino's pizza without throwing in some chicken kickers.
I don't think I've ever done that. You're right. It's like that should be like a combo. I don't know why it's not. Like cheesy bread.
It's on the $5.99 menu.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right, Domino's, you know what you're doing.
You can get yourself medium pizza and a couple kickies for $11. Not bad. Not bad at all.
I was going to save this for my last pick, but I think because you decided to be a motherfucker and try to go with a literal sidekick, I'm going to go with a literal sidekick, and I'm picking the phone. The sidekick.
The sidekick phone? That phone stunk.
At the time, that phone was fucking fire. The flip open, the screen, the fucking
Did you have one of those?
At the time? No, and I was so jealous I didn't. I wanted it.
If you saw a girl with a sidekick, you know that girl would fucking fight you and kick your ass.
Yeah. I loved it.
Sidekicks were for garbage people who were not to be trifled with.
Sidekicks were for hot fucking Puerto Ricans whose the nails would go and they would type on them, right? That was that phone.
Listening to Casey type on her iPhone now.
And when they're mad at you, they're like, you could hear their teeth going and their nails clicking, and it was like, oh, somebody's baby daddy's in fucking trouble.
Dude, a sidekick might as well have been a fucking swastika armband. You see that shit and run. That's that's a dangerous person.
I don't like the Nazi comparison. I like the idea that it was dangerous and a little bit scary and not to be trifled with. I don't think it was full-blown Third Reich, but that phone, more so than any phone ever in history, it has a connotation.
That phone sends a message. It's like when you go out and you order your drink, what you drink sends a message about you.
Right.
Having the sidekick sent a message about you, and it was, get the fuck away from me or I might hurt you.
Yes. Like you know, the Nextel was like the Guineas and the Guidos, and like the Nokia was like the fucking like the that was like, you're from like England if you have a Nokia. And then like the sidekick was like, oh, that's a bad bitch. She probably has a razor blade under her tongue and a nameplate necklace and all that shit. Watch out.
Hearing sidekicks were fucking. You were a sidekick user. You scare the shit out of me to this day.
Right.
If like that, like, I don't know of any red flags where someone could say on a first date. Someone's like, I had a sidekick back in the day. Out.
God.
I'm out. I don't know. I can't be alone with you. Therefore, I can't date you.
Number two pick.
Shout out to the beginning of this episode, Mr. Jim Brook.
Ooh, solid. Very solid. Fuck, that's good. You knew what you were doing here, huh?
Yeah, that's the ultimate Robin to a Batman there. That guy. Edward Brooks, no one without Jim's dick. Remember that. That
is because it was such a long dick. It was skinny, but it was long, and it was like I know that dick. I could pick that dick out of a lineup. I know that dick better than I know my own dick. You could show me a mishmash of 10 dicks, and I would pick out Jim Brooks' dick before I pick out my dick. That dick. Unbelievable. Fuck. All right. I got to dig deep here then. I got to come up with something. I mean, I have, there's some choices here, but all right. I'll go I'm going to go relatively recent. A guy that I think in his prime would have been really high on my list. I think the way it ended kind of ruined things, but I'm going with Bronn from Game of Thrones. Bronn and Dinklage, when they were rolling together.
That's a great one. Bronn's a great
one. Money talks, cash rules. He was for hire. He was a mercenary. It's funny because it was like he only cared about himself, but ended up being like Tyrion's boy. He ended up being Jaime's boy. Like he was all about himself, but always had the other guy to the side of him. So which is the best kind of sidekick to be. It's like you're not someone's bitch. He was like for himself, but he was always, the second banana. So I'm going Bronn, Game of Thrones.
All right. 3, Philip Pritchard, a.k.a. the keeper of the cup, the white glove dude who carries a Stanley Cup.
All right. I almost should wave the flag. I mean, fuck. That's so good. He's a sidekick to an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's I remember this vividly. So we had obviously that fateful night with the Blackhawks when we were out, and I did not wake up for the actually, well, since we're right here, I'm sitting right next to that picture of the Stanley Cup. He's not in it, but there we are.
Yeah.
It's me, Big Cat, Keith, and Sharp. But it was the cup has a curfew. Little known fact. I believe it's 11 p.m. Maybe it's 1 a.m. I forget. I think there was a 1 in it though. Well, there's a 1 in pretty much every number. When you get to the late night aspect, pretty much the whole night has a 1 in it. But it has a curfew, so like he'll be sitting like in a booth at the club with the cup, and then it's like 11 p.m. Bedtime, and he gets up and walks out of the club with the Stanley Cup.
Fucking hilarious. I'm surprised to see. I mean, I feel like you hear about so many things being done with the cup that I'm surprised that it's like we got to get this thing home.
I think a lot of that happens, and maybe the rules are different on when the players get their day with the cup. Like I forget what player it is, but someone dropped it in the lake while fishing, and that happened like on their day with the cup, rather than like when the cup's with the whole team on the championship parade.
Right. All right. Oh, man, the bar is really just so fucking high right now. I don't think I can even come with something that's gonna really. I'll go into the movies. I'm gonna dive into the movies world right now. And I think when you think about this guy, he's one of the most recognizable people ever in movie history. Mini-Me.
Mini-Me's a good one. Mini-Me was
find me a person who doesn't know Dr. Evil, Mini-Me. Like, if you show a picture of him to anybody from the past 20, 30, whatever years, they're going to know who he is. Vern Troyer. That picture of him carrying the fucking frozen turkey is all time. I think is he dead?
I believe he's dead.
I think he is. R.I.P. to the homie Vern Troyer. Mini-Me is an all-time legend. I mean, he's as close to an alien as a human will ever get, and he probably lived a short life, but goddamn was it full. And being he was like this big. He was like a fucking gnome.
There's a picture of him eating a fucking, I believe it's a Subway sub. And it's bigger than him.
Yeah.
It's just bigger than him, straight up.
And like the scene where he pretends to be balancing on his dick with a tripod, so funny. So I there's a lot of movie sidekicks, but that guy, he's one of a fucking kind.
In the movie sidekick vein, I'd like to address Goose not being on my list. Goose was a good sidekick, nice guy, great character. I don't know. I don't know. Goose doesn't make my top 5.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
I'm going to address it. It's not something I forgot. I know about Goose.
Just get out in front of it. All right.
Number 4, a shot of pickle juice. You think it's disgusting? A shot of pickle juice is a nice pickleback shot is just delightful. Love pickleback shot.
I mean,
from the bar one day.
The pickle juice, the pickle shot is the greatest chaser of all time.
100%.
It erases the flavor in your mouth.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be Jameson. You could, if you ever eat something you don't like, if you ever take medicine, whatever it is, you can do orange juice, you can do the lime and the salt, you can drink whatever you got on hand. It always is kind of still on your tongue. You do the pickle juice, you taste pickle juice and nothing else. That's it.
If you want to break it down, really what a sidekick is, a shot of pickle juice probably deserves to be number 1. If you want, it's a guy who gets you out of a tight spot. Guy who's going to be there for you no matter what. A pickle juice, your mouth will never sweat if you get a shot of pickle juice with you.
Your list is fucking good, man.
I mean, if I'm gonna Babe Ruth it, I gotta have a good list.
Yeah, you knew what you're. I mean, my list is just like a normal list. You really fucking went above and beyond. You really thought outside the box on this shit. This is my fourth pick. All right. I'm gonna go. There's got to be somebody in like sports broadcasting, but I can't think of it. I mean, there's so many good.
On broadcasting, we talk about this a lot. I don't really know who sports broadcasters are. There was that meme that went around yesterday with like, "How dare you be mean to Uncle Vern?" I do know Vern Lundquist. I like Vern Lundquist, but the 99% of commentators to me are just background noise.
But Mike and the Mad Dog, different situation.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to give it to Mad Dog. I would say that they were like, partners at a point, but Francesa went on to kind of continue to grow without him. So Doggy is sidekick almost sounds pejorative at times, like it kind of is like a bad connotation in a sense. Right. But Dog is I mean, he's a legend in his own right. So I gotta put that in there because if I don't mention that, that would be terrible. So Mad Dog, my fourth pick.
My number 5 is Scrappy Doo. I love Scrappy Doo. Scrappy Doo is he's a great sidekick.
Scrappy Doo that's the best one on your fucking list. Scrappy Doo, if you could make that real life, Scrappy Doo would be like the little guy who was like running around like fucking girls at the party and doing coke and like getting arrested, running from the cops. Just
Run at him!
Oh man, that's fucking funny. Wow. I don't think if you didn't bring that up, there was a chance that I never thought about the word Scrappy Doo again in my life. That could have been it. I would have never considered Scrappy Doo ever in my brain again. All right, my last pick. You fucking mutt.
Oh!
No, that just popped in my head. Actually, a guy who I think deserves a lot of credit. Dude has been on this show before. Chris Bosch. Chris Bosch was like a third guy who was fucking awesome and like never said a goddamn word, never was a problem. So I think if you're going sports, Chris Bosch is maybe the most underappreciated ever.
It took a lot of heat. Any guy who could withstand that kind of heat, who just fucking
constantly being compared to a raptor. Jesus
There's
Christ.
never been a more apt gif for a person than Bosch with all he withstood, just getting that confetti stuck in his face and mouth. That's one of the funniest gifts I've ever seen in my life. Between that and champagne, Bosch is a legend.
I know. The fucking champagne was tough, too. The Bostrich. And
Saved Cole's life.
Hall of Famer, rings left and right.
Great sidekick to Cole. He saved his life.
That's right.
By getting blood clots. He saved Cole's life.
Sidekick. The butterfly effect on that one, folks. If you like Coley Mick and Mixtape, you better be a Bostrich fan. All right, so that's our top 5 Tuesdays. Let us know what you want next week, and we'll keep rolling out the lists every single week, especially while we're here trapped down in quarantine because there's nothing to do but think about, all your favorite movies, all your favorite old school shit, because we are locked down for the foreseeable future.